just kidding. You're not assholes. I love you guys. I noticed over the last few weeks as I was trying to put, trying to figure out what songs I think might have even remotely interesting stories, and you start to notice patterns that you never noticed before, because I don't know about Simple Life, but I hate hearing myself. You know, I hate listening to our albums, because all I hear are mistakes. You know, it's all I hear. I can't hear anything else. The only time I can ever really listen to our music, my own music, and like really take it for what it's worth, I think is when I'm completely shit-faced. Because then it sounds like music to me. Other than that, all I can hear is I choked that chord, that note's a little flat, Spadero messed up again. No, we turned the bass way down. But I start to notice recurring themes, and it's like flipping back through your diary in a way. Not that I know what one of those really is, but like diaries they show on TV, and a man diary. So I noticed that in line with all of these songs really is that I joke about being miserable and writing miserable things, but over the years so many people have said, come up to me and said, I love that song, or I love your music, it makes me so happy. And I always go, are you deaf? So you're not, that's how I know somebody's not really paying attention. But it turns out you throw a few major chords in with all the miserable lyrics, and people put a decent beat to it, and it's kind of great. But more seriously, I always like to look at misery's too strong a word, but those negative feelings that kind of tend to come out in art, I think, is more of a solidarity thing, in that we've all got it. We've all got problems. And what's that? Angst. Yeah, exactly, angst. Yeah, everybody has it in one form or another. So I always prefer to, instead of really whining, I may whine a little bit, but I kind of like talking to other people about their problems, and that's why I think maybe I like writing songs that may sound a little happy, but it's kind of the happy that's like, hey, you got a lot of problems too? Me too, that's great. It makes me feel better. It's not just me. So that's something that I notice as I'm playing these songs, is like they're all kind of that way. It's like, hey, good beat, life sucks, right? Yeah. Yours too? Great, excellent. All right, let's do a real sad one. On that note, I think any creative or any songwriter, anyone that considers himself creative, you can't help but go back to relationships always. I think that probably goes without saying. And a lot of these songs were, in my case, it was one particular relationship that was in and out, but we've all been there, I think, in one form or another. This song I wrote a little after college, but I was in Rochester, and I had been invited to do a, you guys remember Happy Endings, the cafe, maybe? So I'd been invited, to be honest, I can't remember who put the show on, but I was invited to do a little songwriter showcase. So it was myself and 3 other songwriters, and I think it was kind of a round robin. We were all on stage at the same time. Jack, do you remember that? Okay, so yeah. All right, great. So now you're going to fact check me, right? How bad was I? Yeah, the topic, right, exactly. So that's the point. The idea was that we're going to invite you. You're here with 4 other songwriters, and for this event, you need to write a song about a particular topic. And my topic, or our topic, was seasons. So anything related to a season, your choice. And for those of you who know me, I said, oh, I've got 3 months. Plenty of time to write this song. Plenty of time, tons of time. It's tomorrow. And I had started it before that. However, seasons, you know, for somebody like me, I didn't have any particular bent towards any of the 4 seasons, but it turned out I was sick, so I kind of fudged it a little, and, you know, nobody asked, but I considered cold and flu to be a viable season. This is true. This is true. So I was sick, and I didn't have the song I was supposed to write, other than the chords, none of the lyrics. And the vast majority of the song I wrote driving home from Rochester to the gig, singing in the car by myself, like, yeah, that sounds like a verse. We're going with that. And it's one over the years that people have probably misunderstood, but my sister's name is Allison. And a lot of people have kind of assumed that I'm singing to the love interest in this song. It's actually asking my sister for advice. So it's called Cough Syrup. About the other night, you know that it really wasn't me. I'm just a shadow of a memory of my former false identity. So please, don't take me seriously. It's funny how your perfect thoughts and all the tricks that you've been taught just fall apart when someone says your name. That's slow. So if you've got any good advice, I'd love to know. Because Allison, I am so afraid that I will never shake the mistakes I've made. And I could leave this all behind me. I just don't trust this car, and I don't think I'd get too far. I've been living by the traffic light, a picture of my wrongs and rights laid out for me in black and white and green and red. But everything she said was a yellow in between, and that color is the coldest one I've ever seen. So Allison, I am so afraid that I will never shake the mistakes I've made. And I could leave this all behind me, but I just don't trust this car, and I wouldn't get too far. The shape the roads are in, I know it's hard to hear it's over, but please disregard the things you know I'd never say if I weren't so sober. Now all the years that I have spent pretending I was innocent, or riding in this car right next to me. So Al, now all I need from you is what you think that I should do. I just wasn't what she needed me to be. And it wasn't much, but that's too much for me. Yeah, that's too much for me. That's too much for me. That's too much for me. Oh, Allison, I am so afraid. Allison, I am so afraid. And I could leave this all behind me. Yeah, I could leave this all behind me. Yeah, Allison, I'll leave this all behind. As soon as all the roads are clear and I can find the time,